Drake is a Canadian singer, rapper, and actor. He's best known in Canada for playing wheelchair band Jimmy Brooks on Degrassi, The Next Generation, and for hit songs like Take Care, One Dance, and Hotline Bling. Drake first came to prominence in the teen soap Degrassi, The Next Generation in the role of Jimmy Brooks, a wheelchair band character he played for 7 years. After leaving the show, he became one of the biggest rappers on the planet after signing a deal with Lil Wayne's label, Young Money Entertainment. He's rarely out of the headlines, whether it's for dating Rihanna or Jennifer Lopez, founding his own label, OVO Sound, or fronting the NBA's Toronto Raptors as the team's global ambassador. It is no surprise that Jay-Z labeled him as the Kobe Bryant of hip-hop. Early life. Born Aubrey Drake Graham on October 24, 1986 in Toronto, Canada, Drake grew up with music in his blood. His father, Dennis Graham, was a drummer for the legendary rock and roll star Jerry Lee Lewis, and uncle Larry Graham played bass for Sly and the Family Stone. Drake says his mother, Sandy Graham, also hails from a very musical family. His grandmother babysat Aretha Franklin. Drake comes from an eclectic and unique ethnic and religious background. His father is an African American Catholic and his mother is a white Canadian Jew. Speaking about his personal identity, Drake says, "At the end of the day, I consider myself a black man because I am more immersed in the black culture than any other. Being Jewish is kind of a cool twist. It makes me unique." Drake's parents divorced when he was 5 years old and he was raised by his mother in Forest Hill, an affluent and predominantly Jewish neighborhood in Toronto. He attended a Jewish day school, had a bar mitzvah at age 13, and observed the Jewish high holy days with his mother. "My mom has always made Hanukkah fun," Drake recalls. "When I was younger, she do give cool gifts and she do make latkes." Despite his Jewish upbringing, Drake says he felt isolated at Forest Hill Collegiate Institute. It's virtually all white people high school. He has said that nobody understands what it was like to be black and Jewish, but added that being different from everyone else just made me a lot stronger. Degrassi, The Next Generation. It was one of Drake's classmates at Forest Hill who gave him his start in the entertainment industry. "There was a kid in my class whose father was an agent," Drake would later explain, adding, his dad would say, "If there's anyone in the class that makes you laugh, have them audition for me." After the audition, he became my agent. Shortly afterward, in 2001, Drake landed a role on the Canadian teen drama series Degrassi, The Next Generation. The show followed the dramatic lives of a group of teenagers at Degrassi High School, and Drake played the part of Jimmy Brooks, sometimes dubbed Wheelchair Jimmy, a basketball star who became permanently wheelchair bound when he is shot by a classmate. Drake dropped out of school to pursue his career, only graduating from high school in 2012. He starred on Degrassi for 7 years, 2001 to 2009, earning a Young Artist Award in 2002 for Best Ensemble in a TV series, among other honors. The show quickly developed a devoted cult following. "There are very few subtle Degrassi fans," Drake has said, propelling him to celebrity status in Canada, even while he remained relatively anonymous in the United States. Music career. While he was still appearing on Degrassi, Drake began attempting a crossover into the world of hip-hop. He released his first mixtape, Room for Improvement, in 2006, achieving modest sales of approximately 6,000 copies. He followed that with the 2007 release of another mixtape, Comeback Season, on his own October's very own imprint, later to be shortened to OVO. This included Drake's first hit single and music video, Replacement Girl, which was featured on the new joint of the day on Bert's popular hip-hop TV show, 106 and Park. More significantly, the song contained a version of Briscoe and Florida's Man of the Year, which featured Lil Wayne. Drake decided to leave Wayne's verses and hook intact, while he provided the rest of the lyrics himself. This caught the attention of Jazz Prince, son of Rap-A-Lot record founder James Prince, who decided to play Drake to Lil Wayne himself. In 2008, the producers of Degrassi overhauled the cast, eliminating Drake's character. Without his steady source of income and not yet making significant money as a rapper, Drake was on the verge of looking for a day job. "I was coming to terms with the fact that I might have to work at a restaurant or something just to keep things going," he remembered. But early in 2008, he received an unexpected call from Lil Wayne, who asked him to board a flight to Houston that night to join him in Carter 3 tour. After touring and recording a number of songs with Lil Wayne, Drake released his third mixtape, So Far Gone, in February 2009. It featured the infectious single Best I Ever Had, which peaked at number 2 on Billboard's Hot 100 Singles chart. While successful, a collaboration with Wayne and Trey Songz went gold and made Rolling Stone's 25 Songs of 2009's list. Since then, Drake's barrage of catchy R&B infused hip-hop songs have dominated radio airwaves. A bidding war for Drake's signature followed, and in mid-2009, he inked a record deal with Lil Wayne's Young Money Entertainment. The start wasn't auspicious. He took a tumble on stage during America's Most Wanted tour in July the same year, tearing his interior cruciate ligament and requiring surgery. However, it would only be onward and upward from then on. Thank Me Later and Grammy wins. On June 15, 2010, Drake released his first full studio album, Thank Me Later, which debuted at number 1 on both America and Canadian album charts and was certified platinum. His new persona as the cocksure Prince of Hip Hop, last name ever, first name greatest, he brags on, seemed to clash with his middle-class Jewish upbringing and former career as a teenage soap star. Nonetheless, Drake attempted to fuse these seemingly incongruous stages of his life into one persona. On the 2009 cover of Vibe magazine, he sported a diamond-crusted tie, a hip-hop style shout-out to his Jewish roots, and in the presentation he raps, "Who's Drake's? Where's Wheelchair Jimmy at?" with Jay-Z and Kanye West both contributing to the album. The answer to Who's Drake had to be rap royalty. In November 2011, he released his second studio album, Take Care, which included the songs Headlines, Make Me Proud, and The Motto. The album was universally acclaimed, winning the 2013 Grammy Award for Best Rap Album. Among several other honors, Greg Court's review in the Chicago Tribute perfectly summed up Drake's unique appeal, pinpointing the difference in subject matter and soul-searching honesty that separated Drake from his peers. Drake, the melancholy hustler with a conscience, is back drunk dialing former girlfriend and mourning one who's got away. Feuds with Chris Brown and Meek Mill. Although his career was flying high, Drake hit a few rough patches in his personal life. He and fellow entertainer Chris Brown became rivals for the affections of singer Rihanna, and the pair's bitter feud erupted in violence during the summer of 2012 at a New York nightclub, resulting in injuries to several onlookers. Both Drake and Brown found themselves facing legal consequences for their actions. The professional basketball player Tony Parker, a male model, and 2 women, all hurt in the brawl, were among those who filed suits against the performers. Brown later referred to the event during a guest appearance on a remix of Chief Keef's I Don't Like 101 What You Scared Bro, he rapped. Around this time, Drake settled another legal matter out of court. He reached an agreement with former girlfriend Erica Lee over her contributions to the song Marvin's Room. Lee had sued Drake in 2012, seeking credit for co-writing the track. He was also sued by Rapping Forte and the estate of the jazz musician Jimmy Smith. Squabbles with other artists have also prepared his career, although they haven't derailed it. A verbal feud with Tiger was wanting, but he also got into a beef with rapper Meek Mill when the latter alleged that Drake was using a ghostwriter for a track they collaborated on. Drake recorded 2 diss tracks directly aimed at Mill, charged up and back to back in a single week in 2015. A diss war also started in 2016 with Joe Budden, while the internet rumors that always dug an artist of Drake's standing have alleged that he also had beef with Kanye West and Jay-Z. Views and Hotline Bling. Personal obstacles never seemed to sidetrack Drake for long. The 2013 song started from the bottom. From his critically acclaimed 2013 album, Nothing Was the Same, reflected his personal struggle for success. I just wanted to make it known that I did work really hard to get here, and it was not just a fluke, and it was not easy by any means, he explained on MTV News. After releasing a pair of mixtapes in 2015, including a collaboration with Future, Drake followed with his 4th studio album, Views, in the spring of 2016. The album was an instant success, debuting at number 1 and spending 13 non-consecutive weeks atop the Billboard charts. Among its hit singles was the sultry Hotline Bling, which earned the artist Grammy wins for the Best Rap Song and Best Rap Song Performance in early 2017, and sparked a countless memes due to its memorable video inspired by the artist James Torres. Pharrell. After the ceremony, he took swipes at the Grammy for shoehorning him into the rap category. Speaking in an interview on Apple's Beat One the day after the awards, he said, "I am a black artist. I am apparently a rapper, even though Hotline Bling is not a rap song. I won 2 awards, but I don't even want them." The fairy tale vibe. The fairy tale vibe continued in May 2017 when Drake was the big winner at the Billboard Music Awards. He took home 13 awards including Top Artist, Top Male Artist, Top Billboard 100 Albums, Top Billboard 200 Artists, and Top Hot 100 Artists, breaking Ede's record for the artist with the most win in 1 year. Scorpion. After opening 2018 with the 2-song EP Scary Hours, Drake dropped 2 singles, Nice for What and I Am Upset, in advance of the June release of his 5th studio album, Scorpion. He also unveiled the diss track, Duppy Freestyle, a response to rapper Pusha T's accusation that he was relying on a ghostwriter for his lyrics. The June 29 release of Scorpion did not disappoint, as it featured the artist confirming the rumors of a newborn son on March 14, and his explanations of why he was dialing back the rancor towards Pusha T and Meek Mill on Survivor. The album featured contributions from Jay-Z and Future, as well as what was reported to be previously unreleased music from Michael Jackson on the track Don't Matter to Me. Scorpion shattered streaming records over its first 24 hours, with the Associated Press reporting totals of 170 million streams on the Apple Music and another 132 million on Spotify. The pace continued over the next several days, making Drake the first artist to top 1 billion streams in 1 week with his studio release. Drake went on to claim the 2019 Best Rap Song Grammy for God's Plan, which appeared on both Scorpion and Scary Hours, though the win was somewhat eclipsed by the controversy of being cut off during his acceptance speech, in which he downplayed the importance of being honored at the Grammys. Burying the hatchets, Drake joined forces with Chris Brown for the top 5 hits, No Guidance. He then released the EP The Best in the World Pack, featuring the dual singles of Omata and Money in the Grave, and the compilation album Care Package, consisting of previously unreleased songs from earlier in the decade. Ahead of the planned arrival of a new album, Drake teamed up with Future for the release of Life is Good in January 2020 and unveiled a video which combined the tracks When to Say When and Chicago Freestyle. A few weeks later, Darkling demo tapes featuring guest appearance from Brown, Giveon, Young Thug, and Playboy Carti dropped on May 1st. Cannabis Company. In late 2019, it was announced that Drake was entering the burgeoning cannabis industry by teaming with a prominent Canadian producer, Canopy Growth, to produce and distribute herbal treats in Toronto via a new venture called More Life Growth Company. A press release described the company as centered around wellness, discovery, and overall personal growth, with the hope of facilitating connections and shared experiences across the globe. Personal life. Drake shares son, Adonis, born in October 2017, with artist Sophie Brussaux. Hi, thanks for watching to the end. I hope this video has been informative and entertaining. If you like this video and you would like to see more content like this, kindly like, share, leave a comment in the comment section, and also please subscribe to this channel if you have not already subscribed yet. Thanks for watching to the end. Have a nice day and look out for the next video.